On this week's episode of the LPDS, we have a special double guest episode. Okay, we have the Creature Steve Ortman on, and we have the wet cat himself visiting from out of town, Phil Reamy, on. And we have a silly time. We start debating a specific topic about Waffle House and Denny's and IHOP, and things get heated, and we have a back and forth between all of us, but it's a great time. Great conversation. I do want to get the fan feedback on what their take on that whole Waffle House IHOP debate is, so we can see once and for all who's right and who's wrong. And then, of course, we got an incredible Cage fact, mind-boggling to say the least. So a real fun episode overall. Definitely want to check this out, and it's all going to start right now.
Your fault if it isn't.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be any worse than any other guest episode with more than one guest that I've done where somebody's audio is a nightmare.
Yeah, the Matt Steele episode where we were sucking on candy for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, well, that was him.
Yeah.
You can't blame me for that one.
Oh, you're the one who invited him on the show.
I blame myself for having him as a guest, and never again will I make that rookie mistake. But, yeah, the other ones, it's just on me. And I keep saying, in 2 years, don't worry, I'll have it figured out.
Yeah.
I never do. This year I blame I'm missing gear somewhere in the debris back there. It's still my fault, but that's the story. I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your stupid host, Libretti. Got special guest, Creature.
What up?
And the Wet Cat coming in to visit us here at the Texas OK Corral. So, Phil.
Wait, so do you film the new thing that you're doing with the episodes, where you do the summary beforehand? You're gonna film that afterwards, or is that?
I'll film that one after, because who knows what I don't know.
I guess it's true. We don't know what we're gonna talk about. We don't have a script.
I don't know what to intro. What lesson we're gonna.
I actually really do like that format, by the way. I'd like to go on record to say I think it's a nice change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Thanks.
The only thing I don't like about it is that I was used to clicking the 15 on Spotify. You can click 15 seconds ahead. So I'd click 15. I'd click it 4 times and it'd go straight through the intro song and go right to the video. Now it's like a guess of whether I'm making it through the.
Oh, you got the time. I know what you're saying. You had the timing right. Yeah. So you have to wait until you hear after when I put from my intro. Yeah. I'll put a beep. There'll be a sensor beep. And then the intro will start, like the song.
Right.
So then you can click 4 from there.
All right. Because it goes your anchor, then the intro, and then the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Anchor plays on Spotify too?
Yeah.
Anchor
because
ad?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm really low on views total. Yikes.
You might be missing out on some royalties if you didn't know that.
I'm sure I'm
getting
paid. Yeah. I'm sure I'm getting them. All $60 worth of the past 2 years.
Oh, I got to de-mic real quick. I got a cough. Pardon me.
I think you're good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right,
but thank you guys for being here. Phil, thanks for taking the trip down with Mrs. Wet Cat to visit us. We've had a good time so far. We went golfing this morning. I suck at golf. It was cold.
It was cold.
I don't know about you. I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to pretend to be like, I've done this in the cold before, but my first practice swing on the range.
I saw.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say anything.
That's normal. Me just topping it and just rolling 5 feet in front of my feet. No, that's normal. I'm talking about I hit it and my hands started ringing. I was like, ah.
That still happens to me too.
I didn't want to. I looked around. I was like, nope. not telling anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I thought I was like, this is going to be a bad day. But I don't usually. I golf with you guys, with friends and sticks, brothers. I don't golf. I don't go to the range anymore. I don't golf by myself or with some randos. I don't know. I don't know if you do as much.
Nah, not since I moved to Long Island. When I was in Syracuse, I was playing a lot by myself, and then with whoever I could get a hold of. But
How is that?
how's what?
Playing, like, either playing with strangers or by yourself, like...
Usually, I mean, at my club, if I was like the early tea time, you can see who's like booked. So like I could just book it to where nobody's there, and guarantee to play with myself, which sometimes I prefer. It's easier because I can get through a round in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, and you're also good, and like you have stuff you work on.
Yeah,
like I want to work on my draw, so it's good if you go by yourself. I'm not anywhere close to where like I'm gonna go play around by myself and work on this particular thing. Like everything at any given point needs work for me, like big time. So
just getting out there and playing is probably more beneficial than working on anything.
Yeah, I would probably go to the range. I don't know about you, Orty.
Oh, I'd never play. I'm terrible.
You're back though.
I don't know about
you
if
were
I'm
pretty
back.
I like the last half pretty much. I mean, you had a couple of like.
No, I never. I didn't.
shots.
I never finished a hole legitimately. I had to pick up or drop or
You
just
almost birdied.
Yeah, but that was
you finished that legitimately. You just didn't get it in as quickly as you wanted.
Listen, Phil has an award named after me. That's for the shittiest golfer. Let's not like chirp this up a bit. I suck.
You're better than a lot of people I've played with.
Sticks.
You're better than a lot of people I've played with in the past.
So Sticks can win the championship belt for guest of the year, but I can beat him in golf. That's not the same.
Yeah, he can't win it this year.
Why not?
He took himself out of the running.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do want to talk more about that. We don't have to make this a thing, but
What?
the guest of the year, I'm on the ballot.
You're on the ballot too. Both of you guys are on the ballot. What I need to finish doing, I've unfortunately had to prioritize work the past week.
Yeah, well.
I'll have some time. I'm going on guard duty, so I'll be on the road. I'll have some time in the hotel to finish up the tally. So the fan vote came in.
Mm-hmm.
There was some shenanigans at play with the fan voting. I'm not going to mention any names because you guys can't, like the fans can't see the results anymore because it was on my story. Only I could see the archived results. But I know who voted for who, and I know who essentially hired voters to come in and vote that they don't follow the show, they don't listen, they don't know anything about me. They know that person and they voted for them.
So it's butts.
So that's going to be a question that comes into play. It's not yet like a disqualifier, but it's an asterisk right now because if it comes down to like these two are neck and neck with like the other stuff I'm factoring in, that's going to become like
They have to factor in the integrity.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, because the integrity was blatantly, thrown to the wind there for the sake of the fan vote. But what I still have to do is I have to go through the episodes that all the guests are in the running that they were on this past year, get all the viewer totals from them, the listener totals, add all those up, tally those up, put in the fan.
Count those numbies.
Yeah, the fan vote, and then I'll make my decision based on that. That's the thing too, is like it's not just the fan or the most listeners or whatever. I have to.
Oh, so you do have the final say.
I have the final say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been buttering up the wrong people.
Who are you buttering up?
I was giving shout outs to all sorts of people the last time I was on. Tony Ciccone. What up, man?
Yeah.
How's it going?
He can't.
It's useless.
I don't.
The votes are already in. I guess it doesn't
he
really
doesn't have
matter.
Instagram, so I don't think he voted on there. I have to check the Facebook to see if he.
I can still say what up to him anyways. He's my boy.
Yeah. Look, if you're buttering up Tony, you're buttering up the right people.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't
Because
want.
he's going to butter you up, and then
Right. You don't want to not butter Tony up. You'll regret it. Trust me. But yeah, I do have the final say. I'm not going to be one of those where like I don't want this person to win, so I'm going to find a way to like make it look like I objectively voted them out or whatever. I'm not going to do that. Sticks made it easy. He's not in the running anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He also made it inadvertently easy by he looked at the story for the fan vote and didn't even vote. He just like I acknowledge this and I don't care.
Right.
So So he's out. So it's just between like essentially the three of you guys.
So he's not
We're my
endorsing
only
anyone.
guest this year. What's that?
He's not endorsing anyone?
Sticks?
Yeah.
No. He's too,
What up,
he's-
Sticks? How's it going, man?
Look, he's my brother. We all know that. I love him. But Sticks is worried about Sticks. If Sticks is not involved in it, Sticks wants nothing to do with it.
He's still getting over his fake sickness.
His simulated sickness. I wish he was here to talk to him about that, and I'll give him some hell the next time he's a guest on here. But the whole I walked past a guy who told me a day later he's sick, therefore I have to run through my checklist of sick.
I have to put my feet in a hot tub.
Pretend to be sick. That's out of control.
Yeah.
Well, you were listening to the phone conversation
was
when
great,
he was
yeah.
so this guy's sick, so I can't go out today, so I guess I'll just make chicken soup and lay down and watch a movie. We were both like, but you're not sick. He's like, I know, but you know how it is. I'm like, no, I don't know how it is. I know how it is when I'm not sick. I just live. But that sticks. That sticks. So, he's not endorsing anybody. But I need to do better at actually getting this thing going and people more involved throughout the year, because it's good for the feedback. People getting involved with this stuff, whether it's voting or coming up with questions. Or maybe we could do a debate one year or whatever. But I just need to follow through with shit, and I've been pretty bad at that this past year. So.
I think you've been doing a spectacular job, guy who's going to pick.
Guys gonna have the final say. Nobody likes a kiss ass creature.
But you do.
Yeah, but almost nobody. So so I'll tally that up within the next week or two. I'll have the results, and I'll either be presenting the belt or mailing it out.
Yeah, because you have to. I mean, you want a full year of wearing the belt. You don't want to present the belt in May or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do. No, as soon as I find out within the next week or two, I'll either ship it out immediately or do a presentation or whatever it is. If the winner is outside of this general area, we'll do like a Zoom presentation.
Yeah.
Like an unboxing or whatever.
Sure.
And then we can finalize no shit. This is what's going to be this is what we're going to do for next year, so that people can get involved. We can hold me accountable more so, and it'll be better. So
yeah, no, that sounds good.
I wanted to do a guest competition, mini golf tournament.
Yeah, let's do mini golf.
Yeah,
or real golf.
Or we could do real golf. We'll know who wins that.
Those the guest of the
year.
We'll
have to get Tucker in. Tucker missed the cut only because he was a guest last year, last calendar year or whatever, or LPDS calendar year. So that's why he wasn't in the running. But yeah, he would love the golf thing.
Yeah.
I would prefer the mini golf or bowling or something like that.
Bowling's dangerous around here, I heard.
What's that?
Bowling is dangerous around here.
Yeah, in Houston, you don't want to go bowling.
Yeah, that's where
Takeoff was shot.
What's his name?
Takeoff.
Yeah. I keep mixing him up with that other guy who got killed. Yeah, Extension.
Yeah.
And then there's the other. Did Tech 9 get killed too?
I think he might be in.
Or is he still alive?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm mixing him up. Maybe I'm thinking of Extension or whatever his name was.
Extension. I don't think that was it.
Yeah, all these guys that only mattered after they died. People were,
I never heard of him until then.
Yeah. No, I never heard of Takeoff.
Yeah.
I heard of is it the Migos?
I think it's Migos.
Migos?
No, it's Facebook.
I've heard of them in the the background.
I'm not a big fan of them. XX Tentacion is actually pretty sweet. He's awesome. I like his stuff.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, his old stuff is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, his stuff was good. I liked him.
Yeah. Apparently, this is where it happened. Houston,
downtown Houston. Yeah.
He wasn't really the main character in the.
You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know the story. But
I thought maybe you were tapped in.
I just
to the dark underbelly that is Houston bowling.
I have a high profile in the rap industry, so I know all about that stuff.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do bowling.
Yeah.
Was it downtown?
I think it was downtown. Yeah, downtown Houston.
Place. That's it. That's where we'll go. So, if the fans, if you have any ideas for legitimate stuff we can do, keep in mind guests are going to be nationwide. So we'll have to figure out a way to make things happen as best as we can for people all over the country. hopefully we'll get more guests involved too that want to be involved in that. So if you have ideas, hit the hotline 202-670-1114 or send a DM. Do whatever you got to do. So.
Yeah, I don't want to let people know about your future plans, but you did mention like going to the Waffle House and asking, one of the waitresses
I was
to be a
just
guest.
going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would really suck to lose out to her for Guest of the Year. That would be very embarrassing.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, have you seen the videos of
I guess that's true.
employees at Waffle House?
Yeah, fighting and throwing chairs at each other.
Yeah, it's
Catching
no
chairs.
joke out there.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I guess that's true.
Yeah, there's a Waffle House down the street from the LPDS compound here, and I plan on going, and I want to befriend all of them to build rapport.
And for the waffles.
Oh, yeah. And then I'd like to identify the person who's got, like, the craziest stories.
Story, yeah.
I'm sure they all have some of them. Maybe I could get a couple of them on, but I would like to do that and get them on out here. I have to build enough rapport and build trust that I would, let them come here.
Yeah.
But that would be a cool guest to have. And I can only imagine that person playing mini golf or regular golf. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
So, you don't like the Waffle House, though.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's not good. It's
You
not
haven't eaten there, though.
No, I have.
No.
You had the food truck.
Yeah, you had food
Okay,
truck
here's
food
the
truck
thing.
version of anything standalone like that.
That's not true. Don't even finish the sentence. Food truck food is good.
Food truck food is good. A food truck version of a restaurant is not the same as the restaurant. That's what I was what I was getting at.
Also, one of the reasons why I haven't eaten there is because I've actually been inside one of those establishments. I took a look around and said, nope, and then I walked out.
So you can't say it's terrible based off of a food truck tasting.
I can say that the establishment itself is garbage. I would never eat there, ever. Ever. I can say that.
You can say that you think it's garbage. But
No, I can say definitively, unequivocally, it's garbage.
No, because you've never
It's a
tasted
fact.
the actual food there and watched them make it for you.
Yeah, because I don't want
And
to
duck
have
a
a chair
chair.
thrown at me. No, it's terrible. The debate was rank Denny's, IHOP, and Waffle House.
Yeah,
The-
we're talking three. That's probably the top three shittiest of places
Right.
that I would go to or
Right.
have gone
They're
to
all
regularly.
garbage. They're all
Yeah.
terrible. We can agree on that.
Yeah,
So you do agree that Waffle House sucks. It's just a matter of like how much does it suck compared to the other places.
yeah.
And I say Waffle House is the absolute trashiest of trash.
But you've only been to IHOP and Denny's to sit down and eat.
Right? The Waffle Houses are always in the worst areas. I bet you Takeoff was probably on his way to Waffle House, but he got cut down before he could get there.
You think he decided to go to Waffle House instead of eating the chicken fingies at bowling alley?
If he would have gone to IHOP, he'd be released another single.
Now, clearly you haven't been to an IHOP in the last 2 years.
I think the trashiness of a Waffle House is a part of the charm.
Yeah.
I think that's where you and I can agree that
I
it's
like
definitely-
clean food.
No, that it's definitely part. Like I like that, and you don't like that. Like I like the trash. That's my speed.
Okay, so we're in agreement that it's trash.
No, I never said it wasn't trash.
So then what are we arguing about?
Of the three, Waffle House.
Is the worst.
No,
It's IHOP, Denny's, and then Waffle
no
House.
Waffle House, IHOP, Denny's.
No, Denny's is better.
No,
We all have three different ones because I'm IHOP, Waffle House, Denny's.
IHOP is dependent on which one you go to as far as the food quality.
I agree with that, but there are good
Waffle
ones.
House is the same.
Yeah, it's terrible
It's-
everywhere. It's always
right
next
here.
to a Days
it's
Inn.
right here.
There's probably some
Truck
bums
stop.
hanging
That's
outside.
a Hampton Inn. They're way better than Days Inn. And there's a bank there. So
It's
you know
always
there's
next
cops
to
watching
some
it.
kind of a motel, and
Yeah.
there's probably some streetwalkers and bums hanging outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand what we're even discussing then. You're
But
in
that has
everything.
nothing to do with the food.
Yes.
It has everything to do with the food.
It
How are you
doesn't.
supposed to enjoy a meal with that kind of stuff going on?
You just
Just got to walk
You're
over
just
the
walking like you
bum
own the
dumps.
joint.
No, it's terrible.
it's not.
No, it is.
You can't make a definitive
Yes, I
decision
can. I'm
like
doing
that.
it right now.
Like
This
you
is
can't
happening.
you can't make a credible decision like that
Okay,
when you
well-
haven't sat down and ate the food. They make it in front of you.
I've eaten
That's a
the
huge
food.
thing when you watch them make it in front of you. So you know whether it's going to be clean or garbage?
I've eaten their food.
No, you've eaten food truck version
That's
of their
still
food.
the same.
It's
So
not
I've
the
eaten their
same.
food. The food
Definitely
is
not the
bad.
same.
The environment is terrible. Maybe the waitresses have some crazy stories about how they survived. I don't know. I don't even want to. That's just too real. Let's not even joke about that. But
Maybe I'll make a Patreon episode for them to just let loose.
But the place sucks. I just don't get it. How is this even an argument? I feel like I'm in crazy land right now.
You are in crazy land to think that you can eat a food truck version of that food and think that you have a good enough opinion of it.
I'm putting Perkins above Waffle House. I'm putting...
No.
I mean, what other garbage is out there?
Perkins, they're shutting them down.
I would rather have McDonald's breakfast over Waffle House.
Well, that's different.
Me too.
Well, I also find McDonald's to be disgusting.
Yeah, it's not great either. But that big, what is it? The Big Mac Big Breakfast or whatever it's called, with the hot cake and the whole how you doing? It's,
Yeah, the McGriddle or something.
Yeah, and it's in the styrofoam to go like. It's not a case. It's like
It's
weird
like a lid that you have to squeeze.
weird plate lid thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much stock do you put into the Waffle House index? Like emergency. Have you ever heard of this?
No, what is this?
So like when hurricanes and stuff roll through, or like bad snowstorms wherever it is in the country, that you can track how bad the storm is based upon which Waffle Houses have shut down and closed, because they're open 24 hours.
Oh, so if they close, then you know it's bad.
Yeah, right. So when hurricanes come through, you can tell exactly where it is, like where it's really bad and where it's not as bad. And so there's a whole website that tracks them.
That's pretty interesting, but still doesn't raise their stock at all.
I mean, now you're biased.
No, I'm not biased. If they were like providing waffle relief,
How do you know they're
in
not?
terms of hurricane disasters,
We'll find out when
and
we
they're
get
just
one of the
dishing out
waitresses on.
waffles to everybody.
They're open. That's like one of the only places that are open for like emergency first responders and things like that.
Okay,
so
well,
they are serving a purpose to the community.
All right. Well, I mean, that does add a little bit to them,
It's
but
not happening at Denny's.
they're so far down on the list that even with that boost, it's not enough.
What else is above it? Don't say Perkins. Perkins
Everything.
does not even exist anymore except
I
for
never
there's
even
like
heard
two.
of Perkins.
Yeah, it's
It's terrible. Perkins is really bad. It's
Perkins back in the day was like a Denny style, but it used to be way better. Like up in New Jersey, Perkins was the shit. And I don't know what happened, but they just completely fell off the map. And I think there's only a few around now. They're not even like franchise anymore.
Yeah.
Are they still making Bob Evans? Are those still around?
Yeah, down south.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Have you been to a Bob Evans?
I've definitely been to one, but I can't remember the last time I've been. If they have.
Would you put them in the same category, or are they in the category of like Ruby Tuesday and Applebee's? Because like I grew up going to Bob Evans for breakfast.
I was gonna say I've only been there for breakfast.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else they have.
I know they have like a full. Well, I mean, IHOP has a full menu. Like you can go to IHOP.
Yeah, I would
for-
put them in an IHOP
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Okay.
But what else is there?
Steak and Shake. It's better than all those.
They don't make
Different
breakfast.
category. It's
Yeah,
different
well, no, I guess they don't. But I mean, it's still
I mean,
like
you can bring your own egg and have like a little steak and egg sandwich.
Yeah. I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily have to be breakfast foods. It's that rundown type of restaurant is like
Yeah, that
the
opens the
category.
door
like
for
a
a lot
Rallies
of
or
other.
Checkers.
Yeah, and guess what? They're all above Waffle
No,
House. That's
that's
the point.
crazy.
I'd rather have Golden Corral than
No, you
Waffle House.
wouldn't.
Yes, I
See,
would.
that's out of control.
It's not out of control.
That's out of control. When they have like the videos of them like doing seam in the buffet.
Yeah,
and
for someone
and shit
who
like
has
that.
a little bit of problem with germs. and
Yeah,
stuff,
I have a lot of problem with germs. I wouldn't want to eat a Golden Corral, but that's how badly I wouldn't want to eat a Waffle House.
Yeah, see, that's where
I don't know.
They seam in the food at Golden Corral?
something happened
In
where
the cheese fondue.
What?
In the fondue fountain.
something was going on. A Golden Corral where an employee was doing some self treat and got busting all like
Yeah.
in, like
If
in
you
the
will,
food
and I
stuff.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
I
over
have
the place.
news for you though. That's probably happens at a lot of restaurants, even like nice ones.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder to do it at a Waffle House when they're cooking it right in front of you.
Maybe they did it in the waffle batter.
Before they crack the egg,
That's right.
They just like they crack the egg and they do self treat and then they're like, oh, look at this egg. This is a thickie. I don't think so.
This is a thickie.
What can keep BSing? Let's get the good stuff out of the way, though. We got a Cage fact, a pretty good one, actually. And then we could Keep the debate alive.
Yeah, I guess so. We don't have anything else to talk about. That and bum dumps.
We always can talk about bum dumps, but first we'll just step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
Let's see if I can read this. All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Rick Dick's Law Firm. Are you a piece of shit with a fake injury looking for a quick paycheck, but no self-respecting lawyer will represent you in court? Well, call Rick Dick's Law Firm today, and you'll be walking away a winner in no time. Rick Dick has a proven track record of ball begging the juries into getting you a settlement you pretend you deserve. He even has costume neck braces, casts, and crutches to really fake out the judge, too. So for a consultation today, call 1-800-DICK and use the promo code TrickyRickDick for 29% off your first consultation. That's the second sponsor I wrote for Rick Dick, and the first one was worse. So, and I didn't. That's how bad the first one was.
His phone number only has 4 numbers.
Yeah, 1-800-DICK.
1-800-DICK.
The worst part is that's a real lawyer in this area, Eric Dick, and he's got billboards all over the highway when you're driving up to the airport. I don't know who in their right mind would be represented by.
Does he do strictly injury, or can he do like
insurance fraud?
Insurance.
He does
things?
insurance fraud.
Yeah.
I looked up on their website, the Dick Law Firm website.
Okay, I'll have to get his number from you then.
Insurance fraud. Yeah, I guess gave it to you. It's 1-800-DICK.
Just give it to you. The 29% is still good though, right? That's legit.
You should be like, you should call up and give the code. See if it represents you. You're probably hurting for it. I don't know how much money he's spending on those billboards. I can't believe he's getting that much business.
Should funnel some of that money into the LPDS.
Yeah, he could do a sponsorship. I'll take $10. That's it. $10. So one Coke Classic, and I'll be good. Help your brother out, Dick. All right. So the Cage fact: he wrote a screenplay years ago, and he never really talked about what it was, what the story was, but he wrote the entire thing. He said he spent like a good maybe 2 years writing this out, and he was going to present it to somebody to produce the movie. And he had it on a laptop, and then he put the laptop on top of his car to drive over to give it to a producer, and then he ran over the laptop. And it destroyed the laptop beyond repair. And it was at the time where like nobody was going to be able to grab the hard drive and get the information out. So the story completely gone. He never, to this day, has never revealed what the screenplay was even about. But he said he took that as a sign that he is a thespian and not a writer. So he has no plans in the future to write any other screenplays or rewrite that screenplay. He saw that as like, don't do it.
That's a very elaborate "my dog ate my homework" kind of story.
Yeah. Except no producer was like, I'm going to pay you to write this screenplay. You better have it to me by this date.
Yeah,
and then he's like, I ran over it. He just did it. Like, he created the dog ate my homework story, and nobody asked for it.
Nobody even asked for homework.
Everyone's like, all
You're
right.
not even in this class.
Yeah. So and this was years ago that he did this when he was
Yeah, you should have had the cloud. You'd be
whacked
good to go.
out of his mind. I can only imagine what that screenplay was about.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I like to think it was a massive weight of unbearable talent.
It could be.
Yeah.
Unbearable weight of massive talent.
What did I say?
You did the switcheroo
No, I
on the
didn't.
words.
You'll fix
No,
it.
I didn't.
You'll fix it in post.
Yeah. You know how choppy this is going to be? I'm going to try to do that. It's going to be terrible. But yeah, that's the Cage fact. That movie's on airplanes now. Like they have it as an option.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible to me.
Well, I told you that Starz offers a 7-day free trial, and they start charging you for it. So I did my 7 days and I canceled it. But Massive Weight was on that, and I watched it 8 times.
Yeah,
and it never got old.
I think Styx bought it on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and every time I'm over his house, I watch it.
Yeah.
Whether he wants to or not, I try to, can't get enough.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah. You know where he likes to go? Waffle House.
Does he really?
No, I just made that.
Okay.
That would have been a great case. Great.
I mean, that probably would have solved the debate, but
yeah.
unfortunately, it's not true. You lied.
No, it's not. It is a lie.
Yeah.
Right. I had to go to this training in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. It was a 5 or 6 week training down there, and I was living in South Dakota at the time, and I got the okay to drive down there, and I could bring my dog, and I had Stan back then, and so he's a big German Shepherd. It was 22 hours, but I split it. I spent the night in like Kansas City or St. Louis or some crap like that, and I'm staying at a La Quinta Inn because they were pet friendly and cheap, and I was like a triple platinum member because I was everywhere I went. I traveled with the dog.
Baseball trips to La Quinta.
La Quince.
I know because Cheesesteak wouldn't give us the points. He's got all those points.
Yeah.
And it was in an entertaining part of town, and there was a Waffle House right there. And naturally, like on the weekends or when I didn't have training that day, I would hit the Waffle House for breakfast. And the rabble of the area would go back and forth between the Waffle House, and then the working gals would hang out in the Waffle House until they got like a call, and then they would meet in the parking lot at the La Quinta, and then they would take their suitor, their Johns, into the side door of the La Quinta.
Their Johns or John?
No, it wasn't. If the product was higher quality, it would have been the John, but it wasn't. So
Yeah, it was just a John.
Yeah, it was John's.
Yeah.
It was other people. And then like sometimes maybe 5 minutes later, they would come back out done.
God.
I remember those specifically because I'd be out walking the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd see him walk in, and he'd be out there trying to do dumps or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I turn around, and they're both coming back out, like buttoning up their shirts and stuff. I was like, Jesus.
That would be funny if she was like sitting down eating waffles. She gets the call. She puts her fork down, goes to the hotel. 5 minutes later, and so she goes back to the waffle.
Might as well have, because it was that quick. Like I said, it was one bathroom break for my dog. And then every once in a while, I would get like a real seedy individual who'd be loitering around the hotel. Usually they were trying to either get drugs or try to talk themselves into like getting a deal with the ladies, like a couple bucks off or whatever. And a couple times, like I won this one guy in particular, pretty scary looking dude. He's scarily lurking around, and I come out and I'm just a pipsqueak, so I'm like, I'm a dead man. And I have my dog Stan, who, in all reality, it was a giant mush. Like any loud noise, he'd piss his pants and run away. Mm-hmm. But this guy, he's walking in my direction. He's like, and I think I have like a military shirt on or something like that. He's like, he goes, is that a military dog, service dog? I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, have a good night, sir. And he turns around and walks away. Oh, wow. I was like, we did it. I was like, hopefully there's no thunder or fireworks because the jig is going to be up real quick.
Stolen valor.
Yeah.
Stan jumps in your arms like Scooby-Doo.
The first time I got him in like the end of June or beginning of July in Texas when I was living in San Angelo, and there was a 4th of July party, like parade or whatever, and they did fireworks. That first week, I'm sitting in a lawn chair. He breaks through the arm of the lawn chair and jumps in my lap. And the chair breaks, so we just fall on the ground. And the whole rest of the night, I'm just sitting there watching fireworks on the ground like this because he won't move. And he's stronger than me, bigger than me.
Yeah.
So that was funny. That. But I will admit, I do have a special place in my heart for Waffle House. For that excursion, and in Daytona, I don't know if you ever saw this guy. I used to go to Waffle House a lot after studying for finals late at night. And there was this guy that would show up anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. This older fella. He would walk in, he would get like a slice of pie or just a coffee, and he would play on the jukebox Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You.
It's a great song.
Until he would put it on repeat until he was done with whatever he was eating. and then he was gone. And
So that guy has a story for sure. That guy would make a great LPDS guest.
He's gone because he stopped showing up. This was back when I was in college, so like my freshman, sophomore year, maybe junior year too. I would still go.
You think he's dead?
He stopped showing up my junior year, and I never saw him again after that. That was one of those things where like I had in my head like I see this guy so often. Every time I'm in here, pretty much late at night, I'm gonna finally go up and talk to this guy, and then that was when he's a ghost.
So one or two things happened. One, he realized you're about to come and talk to him, so he offed himself.
Yeah.
Or two, he died because he was eating at Waffle House every fucking night.
Well, it was only like coffee or a slice of pie.
Not because of the food. I'm talking about the shenanigans that go on there.
No, he was pretty protected. Like, nobody messed with this guy.
Yeah.
I think because he just had such a good, rapport there.
Yeah. Somebody out there doesn't like Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You."
Yeah, that could have been.
And they just took
it
care
could
of
have been
business.
a tourist or.
Right.
But I always had this thing of like, I don't want to ask the workers what happened to him because I don't want them to be like, "We've never seen that guy before."
Yeah, he's a ghost.
Because then I'd be like, "Oh my god, I've been following a ghost for years." I don't know. I don't think you ever saw him. Did you, Phil?
Nah.
I do want to talk. You were talking about the Waffle House story, the logistics of the working girls. You said they would get a call. What does that entail? Is it a paid? Like, how do you? Is that how
they
that
call the Waffle House and then say, "We have a call for Gina."
Yeah,
Gina. No, they had cell phones. One lady had a beeper, and so they must have had either on Craigslist or Backpage or whatever website was hopping back then. This was back in like 2014, maybe 2015, something like that.
Craigslist is definitely where it's
so
at.
Craigslist was still
Don't
up
ask
and
me how I
running
know.
with the casual encounters. Oh, I know. For sure.
Craigslist was definitely
it was
hopping
still
place
hopping with the
in 14,
casual
15.
encounters and stuff like that. So it probably was it was probably that situation, and it was like everyone had at the very least smartphones, except for that one lady who had a beeper.
I haven't seen a beeper. In 2014, you saw somebody with a beeper?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a ghost.
That could. The only other time I've seen beepers are like in like hospitals or classified areas where people need to like government workers need to be in classified spaces, but they also need to be able to get notifications on a dime. And a beeper, like an old school beeper, only has one-way transmit.
Yeah.
You can't respond, so that's okay to have in a classified like vault or something.
So
like
that working girl was probably like
FBI or CIA or something like that undercover.
Right.
Yeah. Doing what was that? Operation MK Ultra. Yeah, and they had like Operation Midnight Climax. Did you ever hear of that?
I don't know.
That's part of MK Ultra. It's the CIA staged this brothel, like it was like a regular house or whatever, and they made it into a brothel, and they hired like a madam and the working gals, and they would go out and find Johns, and they would bring them back to the house to do sex, but each room had a two-way mirror, and they would have the ladies dose these guys' drink with LSD and watch how they engage in sexual relations on LSD. Yeah. And they would be sitting there on the two-way mirror watching sex all night long. And they said it was for some study.
Yeah.
I never saw the results of that study.
Also, is that position on Indeed somewhere?
Yeah. Are they still doing that? All the paperwork is laminated somehow from the 60s. Yeah, so beeper. She was the only, but they were getting calls on their cell phone.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if they were getting calls from like their pimp saying, "Hey, this guy's coming."
You think pimps like is that like because obviously working girls are still a thing. Are pimps still a thing, or has that been phased out?
No, pimps are still a thing. They have them more on the official side. There are some like escort services that have, I think they call them managers for like the business reason. They just can't call them pimps. But it's the same thing. Like you'll talk to the manager, and the manager will set up schedule a lady and make it happen. And sometimes they'll even drive them over to the location.
Yeah, I know, like, obviously they're strippers, but they probably do other stuff too.
Yeah.
Like some guys will like drive around to be like the muscle or like the bodyguard.
Yeah. There was a guy, that one dude, that podcast dude you turned me on to. I forgot his name. Mark something.
Singh. Yeah.
He was telling a story about how he used to be like a bodyguard for strippers, like would drive them home and stuff, and all the shenanigans he got into. But that was strippers at a strip club. They have
but they would do private parties too.
Yeah, they would do stripping and probably
other stuff too.
Yeah, other stuff too. But yeah, that they would have their guy set it up. So these girls I didn't see anybody with them besides like the guests that would go into the room with them. So I don't know if they had their own business.
Just like a silent partner.
Yeah, like they had their own thing on Etsy.
They get paid in crypto.
Yeah,
can be tracked.
Yeah, Dogecoin.
Piecoin.
Yeah, but that was, and I think that's why I don't know. Like I said, I have a bias towards Waffle House. I know it's garbage, but I'm picking Waffle House.
I want you to just think about the last 20 minutes of this conversation, all the reasons that why Waffle House is near and dear.
Makes it so good.
That's what's so mind fucking boggling to me. All the reasons you just said are why you would go to Waffle House.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I want to eat breakfast, I just want to eat breakfast. I don't need shenanigans going on. If I want to see that, I can go to some freak show.
Yeah, but nobody ever bothered me. Like, I can watch the shenanigans.
But what about that story if you didn't have stand? What if you were just walking by yourself? What would you do then?
That was at the hotel. That was not the Waffle House. And that guy would have killed me.
Yeah.
No doubt
right
about
next
it.
to the Waffle House.
Yeah, but if I didn't have Stan, I wouldn't be at that hotel. I'd be anywhere else. It's not my fault they built the damn La Quinta in the hood.
Waffle House trivia for you.
Yeah.
What Embry-Riddle baseball player was recruited at a Waffle House?
Oh, I don't know. Was it a local?
No.
Was it somebody who ended up not coming to Embry-Riddle because that's a joke of recruiting?
They came and
they played.
They made impacts. Yeah.
Made impacts.
Like into the program. They impacted the program.
And it wasn't a local like Tucker.
Correct.
Okay. And I played with them?
Yeah.
I was on the team with them?
They had to drive halfway, and then they met at like a truck side, truck stop.
That sounds like a Steve Sabins kind of like.
No, yeah. I believe it was Adam Cellini.
Oh,
I
didn't play with Cheese.
I think Thurno. Oh, you didn't?
No, but I knew Cheese from when I would come down because I couldn't let go. So I would drive down every weekend and watch you guys play.
That's a hell of a recruiting trip.
Yeah, I think Thurno, because he was in like Atlanta area or whatever. So then they drove and they met like somewhere in some Waffle House, signed the papers, and they're like, "Yeah, you want to play? Okay." And then
that's amazing.
He was there with his dad.
They could
maybe it was either Randy or Thurno. I don't know. I don't remember.
That's funny too because the Cellinis come from like a top rate like family like lineage.
Yeah.
They're all
they wouldn't eat Waffle House.
Yeah, they're like media personalities, top tier guys.
I guess that's better than my recruiting trip though. They just said, "Hey, do you want to play here or not?"
What was it, like a text message?
Yeah, basically. I don't even think it was that. I think it was
we had that
mail.
like tryout, right? With like
we talked about that. My origins, my origin story. Yeah, Sarge just got my bullpen, and then he just said, "All right, if you want to play, you can." But
my recruitment was, I send an email, Skip never responds. I go knocking on his door and I ask if he's going to do walk-on tryouts, and he's like, "Yeah, we're doing it the whole semester. Just show up at this time." Like,
who wants to know?
Don't bother me. Yeah. And then I show up and he's like, "Oh, you do this laundry." And that was that. I would have loved the Waffle House recruitment, but yeah, I'm biased.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to. I don't know. I'd say agree to disagree, but I'm going to convince you that you're wrong because I can't let it go.
No, I'll never not pick Waffle House over those other two.
No, I'll get you to change your mind because you're wrong and I'm right.
What are you going to stage like a stabbing?
I don't have to stage it. It's going to happen. All we have to do is sit there for 2 hours and we will see someone die.
I've been there so many times without seeing death.
Or maybe it's just like, like a war zone in there. It just comes with it's like part of the ambiance. It's like part of the lighting. You don't even notice.
Maybe there is death going on. And I'm just like, all that war paint. I'm just used to where I need. That's where I belong. That could be it.
Yeah.
But there's a Waffle House down the street, and I plan on being a regular there. That's for damn sure.
Well, I'm gonna skip out on that one.
It's the closest thing around here to like a diner style, where I could just go get no nonsense eggs and bacon.
But there is nonsense.
I'm talking like
No
not
nonsense.
food related nonsense. Side nonsense. I'm good with. I'm good with that. But I guess the lesson is we all cling to our biases.
Yeah, I guess that's the lesson. Or it's just I'm right and you're wrong.
No. We, at least on this side of the table.
You're right, okay. We got to do the LPDS, right? You know, we got to look at it, critically think, and analyze.
Take the LPDS step back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Analyze. But yeah, I'm gonna have to skip out on that meal. Let me know when you go. So
What if I got you to go?
Nope. Again, it's obviously 85% of my argument is the shenanigans that go on there.
Yeah.
But let it not be forgotten that the food is disgusting, and the people who make it are also disgusting.
See, I wouldn't call it disgusting. It's just not great.
No, it is disgusting,
No,
and the people who
you
make
never made it.
you know,
You never ate it.
like I don't eat fast food. Not because I'm a health freak. I'm not like on this high horse. I eat garbage all the time, but I know that food that's being made is being handled. It's just not sanitary.
Yeah, that's because you're not watching them make it, and it's disgusting. But I'm watching them make it.
Do you see them make the waffle batter?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. They have a vat of that shit for sure, and they just pour it.
No,
in
it
as well.
comes from corporate.
It comes in a jug,
You're right.
and it just says with masking tape on it. It says waffle batter.
And
Not seen.
yeah,
not
the
seen
masking
it.
tape peels off a little bit, and some guy just put.
There's like XXX underneath. It's like, hey. I'll still eat it.
Yeah, I bet you would.
They make a good waffle.
Yeah.
For a shit waffle, it's a good waffle.
Yeah, no thanks.
There are some place. Go ahead.
Their waffles are the ones with the smaller squares, right?
They're the circle, the one circle waffle with the.
The circle?
The
I thought they were
squares.
squares.
The little squares are smaller in proportion.
Oh,
to
yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
For the
Like
syrup
the
distribution,
Belgian
yeah.
waffle, right?
Yes, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right, yeah. But I've seen like reputable restaurants make breakfast, and they make the Waffle House style waffle that like wide, thin, with the smaller how you doings, and it's like pre.
Yeah, it's
not
cut,
fully
yeah.
sliced, but
Yeah, I
it's
know what you
pre.
mean, yeah.
Perforated.
Yeah, perforated for like a fork cut.
Easy tearing.
Yeah, which is surprising to me because these, like I said, these are reputable, like one-off restaurants that you would go to, and they're like, "Oh, like yeah, I want a
Yeah,
waffle."
the perforated really helps because it's hard to cut through a waffle. You got to have that.
You really need that. Yeah, it helps me. So I know I get 90-degree cuts.
I've had 19 breakfasts with you since you moved here, and the amount of prep time is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, the real problem is, for whatever reason, my food never comes first.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it needs to, like, I need to make that request, like, hey, can you bring my food out like 10 minutes before his? Because in the time it takes me to prep, you're already done with your meal.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
and I feel bad. You're just sitting there, so I always just.
I don't
tend to
feel.
go.
I mean, you don't have to feel bad. I'm full. I'm content. I probably have a guilt-free cheese while I'm sitting there. But it is. I'm just really astounded by the amount of prep work you put into eating.
Yeah, it's a problem. But that's why I feel bad, because it's like, I know it's a problem, but I still. What am I gonna do? Eat like?
Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, you
Savage.
have you're a pretty clean-cut guy. You have no other idiosyncrasies other than the food
No
stuff.
other
Not one.
issues?
Not one
Yeah.
other issue.
It's
Not
just-
one other
it's-
problem.
If
with
you
me.
didn't have the food stuff, you'd be good to go. But man, that's weird.
I thought you were gonna say if it wasn't for Waffle House, I'd be. No, I have other stuff.
Well,
But
you don't
it's-
need to open that can of worms.
I did, and then I lost my dream job in the military. And that's for a different episode.
Yeah, then you got my dream job.
Yeah.
And I was jealous of you. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. What? And you're upset about this?
Yeah. You want to hang out? I'm bored. Aren't you working? Yeah. No, I'm not bored at work. I'm busy, but I get to work from home. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about this job. The job you had in the military.
Oh, that job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was
When you
pretty
got
cool.
when you got that job because you couldn't fly or whatever.
Yeah,
That was my dream job.
that was a pretty cool 2-year stint.
Yeah.
I mean, all things considered, having a 2-hour-a-day job living on the beach wasn't terrible
Yeah.
for the mental trauma they were putting me through. But I don't know, Phil, did you ever come? No, you were playing. Never mind. I was going to say, did you ever come up to Pensacola? But
Yeah.
no, you guys were still playing. I would come down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed that.
Yep.
I think I saw Howie a lot in the bullpen, too.
Probably, yeah. He was, because that was our senior year, and he was there at pretty much every game.
Yeah, I think we've discussed this in the past. Like, if I wasn't going down there pretty much every weekend, I was going to be in bad shape.
Yeah.
With that whole, like, disqualification stuff I was appealing and all that crap. Yeah. And Skip and Chi and Thurno was still there. They were just like, yeah, just come in the dugout, come hang out.
Yeah.
Like, that was huge because if they were like, dude, stop hanging around, you're a has-been, you know? That would have really hurt. I would have been testing my shoelaces a lot.
Testing the shoelaces.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Yeah. I think Beavis and I, after we were done playing, we came back for a couple games. I actually came back for a lot of games, but we tried to sit in the dugout one time. And Skip didn't say anything. He didn't kick us out, but we could tell we weren't nearly as wanted as you were in the dugout. So we kind of excused ourselves. I think it lasted maybe one inning. We're like, yeah, this isn't right. And we just left.
Well, I used to hang out in the bullpen most of the time because you guys were in the pen.
Right.
And there were still a lot of guys like McGee and a couple other guys were in the dugout, but I didn't want to hang out with that pedophile.
Pedophile?
Yeah, I don't want to mention his name because I don't even want to give him any airtime. He's the same guy.
Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah,
who,
okay. I was just like, we play with a pedophile?
Yeah,
we did play with a pedophile.
He tried to get JT to like run his story about how he would like essentially trick some bum into like fake teaching her like how to read.
Yeah.
And he was just doing it for clout. And then he got in trouble for like texting a student in the school he was teaching at or coaching at or something like that. Yeah. I didn't want to hang out in the dugout with that creep.
Right.
So I hung out with the bullpen with you guys and
the non-petties.
Yeah, the non-pedo creeps. But yeah, that was, like I said, that was big. And then now I'm here. Like, if it wasn't for that, I don't know where I'd be. I'd be in real big
That's no
trouble.
shoelaces.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think you didn't come up to Pensacola. I was already gone by the time you guys were done playing and able to. I was out.
Yeah, I don't think I had to. I mean, you were coming back pretty much every weekend.
Yeah, there was a couple weekends where I would stay in town, and I would wreak havoc with my old buddy Tank.
You brought Tank down a couple times too, or at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, he met David's public enemy number one on the
No,
podcast.
I met Tank. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Checking the mail.
Yeah, I think that was the same weekend.
Let's shit talk David's.
It's not as fun when he's not here. It's still fun. It's still fun. Shout out to Corey Davids.
Yeah.
The most hated guest on the podcast.
But also, if he was here, I'd be like, let's hang out with David's.
Yeah, he's always going to be that guy.
Yeah, I always want to hang out with
Davids.
Davids.
Balls
If he was
forever.
here right now, I'd be like, why are we not hanging out with
Yeah, and
Davids?
if he sends a text like, I'm in town, bros.
Let's
like,
go.
All right, let's go meet up somewhere with Davids. Yeah.
But he's public enemy number one.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I know why.
I mean, I know why.
I was on laundry detail for 2 years because of that fucking guy.
Oh, man. What else you guys got?
I don't know.
That's it.
That's what happens when we don't have a script.
We don't really need a script. We were able to settle a debate.
Well, it didn't get settled. It got settled because we're just...
In your head, it's settled, correct?
Well,
In my head, it's settled.
Yeah.
Phil?
I mean, I think he needs to try it. I think you need to sit down and try it before you can rule it out.
What if I sit at the bar, like the diner, like
Yeah.
tabletop, and they make my food? If I see something I don't like, I'm allowed to leave, and I can officially say I'm right.
But you have to give
I will go in there with
concerted
yes,
effort
I'll
that
go
you're
in there with
not
an
going
open
to
mind.
find something to not like.
Correct. I will go in there with an open mind.
Like it has to be like if the guy is like using his
Like,
bare if he's using his
snotting
bare
his-
hand to like scoop the batter and put it in the waffle
Yeah,
maker.
yeah.
Got it. We're
out
out.
of
Like
there.
we're gone. Yeah.
I think that's how they put the butter on the griddle, though. So that you have to let alone.
Yeah. We could do that, and we can make sure it's like a weekday, late morning situation where it's not as crowded.
Mm-hmm.
It's not late nights. It's squirrely.
So
I think
it's a breakfast joint that gets busier later in the night.
it's open 24 hours.
Right, but it's prime time. Even though it's a breakfast place, isn't 7 a.m. It's 2 a.m.
Weekend, probably I would say weekend nights post bars, clubs closing.
Yeah.
At least in Daytona. I don't know when.
And obviously depending on where in the city they are, but I mean
what
bars when bars let out, then they probably have a spike. They probably have a spike in the morning for truckers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously probably a dinner type of rush.
Yeah, so we could do a late morning, but it can't be too late where it's early lunch because that could get busy too.
Yeah, but I think busy is good because then everything's fresh, so it might actually improve the quality.
Yeah, I was just thinking more for safety. So as long as we go during the day on a weekday, we're probably
because the crazies are like vampires; they don't come out when the sun's up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We can't get killed during the daytime.
No, we're good. We're safe.
Right.
Yeah. We can't go when Phil's here though, unless we meet up somewhere else together and we go as a.
Are there any Waffle Houses in New York? Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a trip over there sometime.
I don't know.
Maybe one.
I mean, I feel like I've seen them around.
I think there's one in Vegas.
I'm sure there is. Yeah. You guys coming to Vegas or what? Put it on the podcast.
I'll have to check and see if I can get a leave available.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't go because it's a guard. It's my guard duty that week, but I don't know for sure. I don't remember for sure.
No, I'll see what kind of leave I can get.
I don't recommend and no offense, I don't recommend Orty going without me because I'm a good you're a pro. Yeah. And your friends are pros at going to Vegas and doing the do.
Yeah.
He's not, and I'm a good step above rookie, so that there's a good middle ground for him. We can go and do some new guy shit.
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas.
While
before.
you guys
I do want to go
pro stuff. So I wouldn't recommend you go if I can't go.
Yeah.
But you do what you want.
No, I'm going to check to see my leave availability, see if I can do it.
I want to go. When you sent that text, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, I've never been. Of course I want to go.
Yeah, it's a great time. But there's probably one thing that I want to do that Orty would not want to do, and I love going to Fremont Street late at night to go hang out with the freaks.
Freaks. That's where we stay. We stay up there.
Oh, you stay up there?
This group stays in North Vegas, which I'm not thrilled about. I always try to get them to go stay on the Strip.
What's your play if you had to choose? Do you stay on the Strip and then we'll go to Fremont to hang out sometimes? Or
yeah, I mean I'll go if people are up there.
Yeah.
But I like the Strip better. I don't know. But it's wild. So the problem is, we've been doing this trip for probably they've been doing it a while. I've been going probably the last 6 years maybe.
Yeah.
And so they always stay up in North Vegas. And in the past, it made sense because the hotels were way cheaper, and they're $5 crap tables. Everything was cheaper up there. Drinks, everything was cheaper.
Yeah.
It seems like since COVID and now after, the last 3, I guess, Marches that we go, it's their prices start matching the Strip prices.
Dang.
So the hotel isn't even that much cheaper. Honestly, it's the same really price as the Strip, and then all those tables. Last year there was no $5 craps anymore.
Wow. On Fremont or on the Strip too?
On the hotel that on Fremont the Fremont the Strip never has $5. I mean you maybe
every once in a while. I think Excelsior will have them.
Yeah, it's certain times of the day. Yeah. It'll be a special promotion or something if they have it. But yeah, so and the whole reason I think why is they built a new hotel Circa there. So it's all brand new glass building that looks like it belongs on the Strip. It doesn't look like it belongs in shitty old Vegas.
I heard about that, yeah.
And it's legit. It is really nice. But I think that drove up all the prices because they're charging Strip prices for Fremont. And so now all these other hotels are kind of following suit.
Yeah.
That place has a stadium swim, is what they call it. It's their huge pool areas, huge jumbotron with all types of screens and stuff, and cabanas and pools and stuff.
I was thinking maybe because
for March Madness.
Oh, do they have stuff there?
Yeah, so during March Madness, that's the whole trip that we go on, the first round of March Madness. And so all the hotels, obviously the sports books are running hot.
Banging, yeah.
But pretty much every single hotel you walk into in the convention center, they'll set up, endless amounts of tables and projector screens everywhere and auxiliary sports books where you can make bets in there. So you don't have to walk all the way to the sports book.
Yeah,
you just make bets right there.
Dang.
And so they'll have all the games on. And it's awesome because you got, 500, 600 people in one room. The odds are, like, the way that bets are made on sports, it's like the house wants the number of bets to be 50-50 because they win money off the juice, not necessarily of who wins or loses.
Right.
So the house doesn't care who wins or loses. So anytime there's a bet, it comes down to the wire and it's like right on the edge of the spread. Half the room, like half the convention center is going crazy for one way and half's the other way. So when something happens, the game ends, half the room's going crazy.
Wild.
Half the room is, So that's
and they're packed, the rooms too.
So all the hotels basically do that, and then Circa does that too, and they have a huge convention center. And then the Stadium Swim obviously has all the games on, so it's
gotcha.
It's
See,
cool.
I was thinking, it's like since COVID, like since the lockdowns were done and stuff, they were just seeing an increase in people coming just to get out and about. So maybe that's why they were increasing. But I forgot about that place opening up, and they're opening up new places in the Fremont area as well.
Yeah.
So that'll do it. That's kind of shitty though. Like that's why people were going. One of the reasons they go to Fremont is because
I know that's so this year. Like I think I almost convinced the guy to do the strip, but we're back up there. We stay at the downtown Grand, which it's a decent hotel.
Yeah.
They have a decent pool, but it's nothing like the strip pools.
That's the thing is like if you're gonna pay those prices, go to the strip.
Right.
Like at that point, go to the strip because it's way better, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I think I really would enjoy it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't do the gambling because I don't like losing money, but I think
we get you.
I think we have.
I bet you by the end of the trip we get you.
Yeah, for sure.
You're on.
You're on. No, but I was telling you already previously, like if we found a table for us to go play blackjack, like a bunch of just all of us that we know, we're not some strangers or whatever, we'd be able to sit there for a little bit and have a good time, and we wouldn't be pissing away money either.
That's more fun than anything now at this point. Like the allure for me for like gambling isn't about like the winning or losing money. Like I don't think I ever really go to a table by myself anymore.
Yeah, I'll
go with friends. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Bunch of the group plays craps, so we go and take over a craps table. That's the most fun.
Yeah, that's
really
fun. The only time I would do anything quote unquote solo is if like I'm walking by a roulette wheel, like a roulette table, and I'll just be like, oh, let me just put on black or whatever real quick.
Yeah, or immerse at the maze by a blackjack dealer.
I'll see you guys later.
Or Steve Buscemi on
I'll
the dollar
never.
wheel.
Yeah, I'll always be ready now. Now I'm never going to see him again, but I'll never make that mistake again.
That's where some of the guys are staying there at Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
We were at. They had the Westgate Towers is where we stayed.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that is now. Because
It's
went under.
part of Planet Hollywood. We were in the Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, we were Planet Hollywood Westgate Towers, like that offshoot on there connected.
Yeah.
But that's named something different now. I don't know what it is. Yeah. I don't know. Because like Westgate Towers was like half owned by somebody else.
Okay.
And they were using Planet Hollywood to like get them the rest of the way there, and then they went under, and Planet Hollywood's like, see ya.
Yeah.
But did I tell you that story already?
No, I don't think you did.
So, we discussed, I don't know what episode it was, talking about our Vegas trip for the Miss America pageant when Bonji was with Miss America.
Had to sneak that one in there.
What's that?
The Bonji with Miss America. You had to sneak that part in there.
You got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Phil and Tucker flew out with us.
Mm-hmm.
They met us out there, and we all stayed together. And we were all out and doing our own thing. We were like, okay, we're gonna meet at this like escalator in this casino at this time, and then we'll go roll out and do our stuff. Because Phil and Tucker were doing their thing separately, but Bonji, his brother, and I were all doing Miss America related stuff that we got tickets to from that side of the house. So I got to the area like a little early. I don't know why I was by myself. Probably a bad idea, bad decision. And I'm sitting there watching this. It was basically a roulette game, but it was just a wheel on the wall, and you put your money on what number you think is going to hit or what shape on the wheel is going to hit, and they spin the wheel, and then whatever hits, you win. And it's whatever you could bet, whatever, $1, 20. There was no limit on whatever. And I'm just standing there, and the dealer goes to me. She's like, "Hey, sir, do you want to play?" I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here," because I was only there for a second before I can figure it out. And Steve Buscemi is sitting at the table, and he's like, "Oh, it's real easy. You just put your money down on what you think is going to hit. You could bet as much as you want. Put whatever, like you could bet all of them if you want, and then they spin the wheel." And I was just like, I froze. Because I was just, okay, like, thanks. But afterwards, I was like, man, if I could take that back, I would have said something like, "Oh, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to that squirrel over there." Some Buscemi line on him. But I was just so starstruck because I don't know what it is about Steve Buscemi, but like
he's got charisma.
He's up there for me.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was just like, "You got me." Yeah. And I'm usually not like that. Like if I see a celebrity, I usually can think of a quip on the fly. Yeah. But with him, no chance.
It's frozen.
Yeah, I froze.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm mad about it, but it's also like he's Steve Buscemi. Yeah. He deserves that freeze.
Yeah. Like, then he disappeared into the night.
Yeah, and then he was gone.
He just took like one of those smoke things and just disappeared.
Yeah, because I turned around to go find the guy. Like, you'll never believe what happened. And we turned back, gone.
Yeah.
Look who's over there.
Yeah. Just some guy listening to I Will Always Love You on the jukebox.
Oh, that's funny.
I think we can wrap it up there after that, huh? We went about an hour.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
No. I didn't have anything to begin with.
We got brunch coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm. We got dinner after this.
We got some late night dinner. Mm-hmm. It was an Italian joint, right?
Yeah, Italian joint, pizza, pasta.
Exploring the Texas Italian. I don't know how good it's going to be.
I heard it's awesome. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
All right, cool. So we'll check that out. And then I'll be on the road, folks. So I don't know if I'll have an episode from the road. I'm going to bring some gear. But if I have a roommate, I'm not doing an episode with some creepy stranger.
He could be a guest.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to bring the stuff. If it's somebody good,
yeah,
maybe I'll get one of the hotel employees as well.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. But
I don't know if there's we. It's the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. There's no we figuring it out.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I want someone else to be there.
Yeah.
But it's really
your team will find somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get the team right on it. But before we go, real quick, the big three. For all those of you who don't know, the big three is the 3 pillars to the LPDS, to staying strong and being a better, happier, more positive human being and spreading that goodness everywhere. Number 1, exercise every day. It's the easiest one to do. Get your steps in. We got a lot of steps in golfing. Mm-hmm. But it's as simple as like going for a walk or doing jumping jacks or whatever. Number 2, don't be a shitty person, especially on the internet. It's especially now as like elections are coming up in the next year or two. Again, it's everybody loves to just be an asshole to other people on the internet, hiding behind the keyboard, firing off their post, thinking it doesn't do anything. But you don't fight negativity with negativity. So take that LPDS step back and decide just don't send that shitty post, and that will help enough. Number 3, the most important one. Be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives, like this. My father, there's a real quick story. My father's college buddies, I'll say he's talked about having like 10. There's probably at least 10 different people that my father talked about like being best friends with and roommates with in college. And one of them was... I don't know if he knew him from college, but he knew him around then, was his best man at his wedding, that they just stopped talking to each other except for like one or two of them for no reason. There was no fights or whatever. They just lost touch until maybe 5 or 10 years ago. So we're talking like 40, 50 years of like best friends never getting back together again, except for, you know, 1 or 2 times in the 50 years until recently. And we get like, how many times have we hung out since we left college together?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's awesome.
I mean, it's tough without like, imagine without social media or Xbox or anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
you'd have to pick up the phone and dial someone's number and hope that they're home to answer.
Yeah. Crazy. Or write there.
Yeah, write a letter.
I remember every once in a
show up.
while we would see a letter from one of my dad's friends, like some random friend, like their family, like, how you doing? It's like, but I think that's probably why. That's a good point. Why
it makes it a lot easier to stay connected.
coming together now.
I keep tabs with a lot of people that I don't necessarily talk to, but I see all their life updates.
Yeah.
And so, like, just simply liking a post when they have like a kid or something, that's more connection than our parents could ever have with their friends.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still never met my dad's best man from his wedding. His brother's doing my taxes. But I haven't met that guy, so but it is that's a great point. I didn't think about that, but that's what I'm grateful for, like this, being able to do that and hit the sticks and talk every day. That's awesome. I'm not going to put you guys on the spot and tell me what you're grateful for, because that's weird. But that's the big three. That's all we got today. You guys don't have any social medias you're trying to get followers on?
The Wet Cat.
The Wet Cat and S_Ortman.
44.
44.
It was Prime the Pump, but Meesteg gave me some shit for it, so I took it off.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
I think you should still reconsider that, because I love Meesteg, but she has one fatal flaw, and I'll always remind her of this.
Yeah.
She married Cheesesteak. So I take everything she says with a grain of salt.
Yeah. She probably, if she by some chance listens, she's probably like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I never gave you shit for it."
Yeah.
But she made a comment about something.
It was
and
in
I just like,
writing.
yeah.
It was in writing.
I was like,
somewhere.
well, all right.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah,
It might be in the comments of a picture or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'll find it.
Yeah.
And we'll get the
Bring back
receipts.
Snooze and Nestor.
Snooze and Nestor. That's a good one. Yeah.
Or Cheesesteak Jr.
I still have that one. That's my Xbox Live account. Cheesesteak Jr.
So thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the hotline. I love the hotline calls when you guys call in. That's awesome to me. Even when someone's trolling me, it's still fun to listen to and play on the air. So give that a call, 202-670-1114. I actually gave that number out to what may or may not be a real charity at the golf course today. They were asking for names and numbers, and I gave Anthony Rigatoni and the hotline number. So hopefully they call and leave a message. That would be nice. We'll play it on the air. But don't forget, like and subscribe, tell your friends and enemies, all that stuff. Thank you guys again. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for listening. Yeah, we'll got to do it again. Whenever the next person moves, we'll just do another rendezvous.
Yep.
Wherever that may be.
Philly.
Yep.
If listen, if you move to Philly for work,
there's a high probability.
we're moving to Philly for work.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm a big Philly fan. That's right up my alley. Murders and Rocky.
It's just like one giant Waffle House.
It is a giant outdoor Waffle House with Ginzos. So, thank you guys again. I love you all.